Good afternoon, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. I've seen an interesting article today from the Daily Skeptic, and it seems to be the next stage of the patriot pushback against the globalists. And I'm here for it, and I think we should all get behind things like this as long as they remain on the right side of the law. The Bournemouth community have had enough. They have decided, after several recent stabbings, sexual assaults in recent years, including the murders of Tom Roberts, Amy Gray and Hamilton, the group, which has been set up by Gary Bartlett, a local businessman, says it will protect the most vulnerable, especially our women, children and elderly. And he's vowed to work alongside Dorset Police to make the streets safer, but this new organisation is yet to be endorsed by the force. Anti-racism campaigners have stated that it's going to target asylum seekers. Well, they may be disproportionately represented in the stats, so we'll leave that one there. The Safeguard Force members have said they're all volunteers and will be required to undergo DBS checks and first aid training, and the group will be non-political and inclusive. A GoFundMe campaign to buy body cameras, stab vests and radios has raised over £3,000 so far. In addition to patrols, there is a developing mobile safeguard app and an SOS-style tool that will allow people to quickly request help if they're feeling vulnerable in public. I see nothing wrong with this at all, to be honest, nothing wrong with this at all. It's positive and this is a good thing. I've been saying for many months now that people, able-bodied men and their sons, need to be visible, be present in your local community, just walk around the block, walk around to your local park and just keep an eye on things, even if your kids aren't there. Just do what you can, be peaceful, be vigilant, and nothing wrong with this at all. Especially since the police seem to be enforcing the regime at this point, and they're not actually helping, local people that have grave concerns. And then the article goes on to say this. Volunteers will be set to carry out their first patrols this coming Monday, which will focus in Bournemouth and Boscombe, including beaches and gardens. Mr. Bartlett said, "We are here to support the community and work alongside the police to make Dorset safer for everybody. Our volunteers will have no more legal powers than any other member of the public. We are not a vigilante group and we do not engage in unlawful activity." Mr. Bartlett declined to explain whether volunteers would be physically able to intervene if they saw criminal acts taking place. Dorset Police confirmed they are aware of the group and have begun discussions with its organisers, assessing the risks and opportunities to bring that I might bring to the area. So there we go, there's the article. Now, just for the record, citizens do have power of arrest in the United Kingdom. Under Section 24A of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, a citizen, i.e. someone who is not a police officer, may arrest somebody if the person is in the act of committing a crime or an indictable offence, and they have reasonable grounds to suspect that somebody is committing or has committed a indictable offence. A citizen's arrest must be necessary because the suspect may cause injury, damage, and they may escape before the police arrive. So there's the caveats to that. Now, why has Britain got more unsafe over the past 25 years? I don't think it's the native population. And we know from statistics that certain people from certain countries, such as Congolese, Afghans, or people from Eritrea, they are statistically far more likely to commit certain types of crimes. I'm just going to play this video from Alex Phillips. She's on Talk TV, and I just want to play this clip and you let me know if she's onto something with this.
Because
What
you talked about
This
this
is
morning.
such an important issue for me because I've been living in London for 10 years. I've also lived in multiple other countries around the world. Never before have I felt as unsafe as I do now. When I walk down the street, I'm increasingly being leered at. I'm increasingly being followed like I'm going around the souks of Morocco. And it's not visibly to me anyway, people who were born and bred here. It isn't. It's very difficult because we're not allowed to talk about it because, oh my gosh, that breaks taboo.
Well, no, that's the entire thing. If police were policing without fear or favour, they would not treat Johnny Foreigner differently to the standard white English or British person now, would they? But they do. Because we're in a two-tiered society because of the Race Relations Act of 1968, specifically, and the Equalities Act of 2010. If you're a protected characteristic, regardless of whether you've committed a crime or not, you get the kid gloves.
Oh, you're a racist if you say this. I'm sorry. A lot of women going about their daily business feel that their safety is being directly threatened by people who are coming from different cultures. And this needs to be discussed because I've had enough. All my other female friends have had enough. When I put this stuff online, the number of comments online from other women saying they've had enough and saying thank you.
Let me know if you agree with Alex. Let me know if you've had her experience or if she's over egging things. I don't think she is. I think she's been exceedingly measured and polite. To be honest, I'd go much further than her. But you let me know. You let me know if you think she's onto something as well.
For talking about this. Was it not enough when we noticed what was going on with grooming gangs? Was it not enough when we see what's happened to the victim of Abdul Azadi? When are we going to have the conversation that women's safety is being mortgaged at the altar of mass immigration and this faux political correctness?
And I speak to many other women who suffer the same indignities and offences like you do, who don't have a public profile, who are not in the media. And they are echoing what you are saying about the utterly unacceptable behaviour that they are being subjected to, and I keep urging them to report.
So we'll leave that one there. You let me know if this safeguarding group down in Bournemouth is going to have legs. You let me know if you think it's just regular people, women and children, that are being auctioned off for the mass migration experiment that nobody voted for. And it's up to the strong men in those communities to band together and keep our people safe if the police won't do it for us. Obviously peacefully, obviously legally, like this group seems to be doing. And this safeguarding app that they look to be getting off the ground as well, that's another positive in my view. And then we move on to the next thing I'm going to say. Here we go. We knew that hundreds of migrants living in tax-funded hotels across the UK accused of committing offences including rape, sex attacks and robbery, theft and violence. So not only is there a demographic in the United Kingdom that are committing crimes, yes, native people in the United Kingdom do commit crimes. Why import more? Why import people from cultures that are vastly different from our own? I'll always come back to that. And then we have formerly friendly countries that have questions about the UK now. Foreign governments such as Australia, France, Canada and even Mexico are warning their citizens that the UK is no longer a safe country. And it's hard to argue with that. It really is. We're not safe in our country. We can't even buy a house in our own country due to mass migration. The police are completely captured due to the ecology of policing and the woke doctrines they were forced to embody. So, I think this is the straw that's broke the camel's back. I think we've seen these peaceful protests at the migrant hotels over the past few weeks. I think logically this would be the next step if this can galvanise support on a national level rather than a local level. Again, it's two fingers up to the governments who aren't keeping us safe. They're not doing what we've been paying them to do or elected to do, and this needs to change. And then finally, before I let you go, thank you for watching by the way, there is a rally down in Bournemouth in the next few weeks. Let's see when it is. It's on the 9th of August, so just over a week from now. It's going to be held at the Roundhouse Hotel in Bournemouth. If you're local, or even if you're not, if you're a British patriot and you want to take our country back, start attending these events, go down, talk to fellow citizens, have a laugh, keep it peaceful, and show the government that we're not to be trifled with. I appreciate your time. Have a good evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.